Howdy. I'm Scott Schultz, and I want to tell you about a brother of mine. Big Ed, they call him. I have two older brothers and, well, three sisters to boot. I'm the youngest out of the whole clan. And about this time of year, Ed and I managed to get together for deer hunting, Thanksgiving, whatever it might be. And somehow or other, I always end up telling Ed, you have to get out more. When he comes up with some statement that I just can't believe he's saying, he's talking about something that's showing his lack of exposure to diversity. Now, I mentioned Thanksgiving. This time of year, around Thanksgiving, I always have a Tootsie Pop or two. And that Tootsie Pop or two, while people might think about turkey for Thanksgiving, it's really important to me. Because what I talked about with my brother Ed, I got a cold dose of about 46 years ago this week. The Tootsie Pop was kind of the trademark of a Marine friend of mine. I was in the Marine Corps, a young Marine, going to a school in Indianapolis at Fort Benjamin Harris at the time. And the Marine with the Tootsie Pop was named Sergeant DeWitt Green. Larger fella, of course he was a Marine, so he was still in good shape. Always had a Tootsie Pop in his mouth whenever we were in the barracks together or driving, traveling, going out someplace. DeWitt would have his Tootsie Pop. One of those Tootsie Pop moments brings me to a story that has affected me to this day, 46 years later. Thanksgiving week that year, DeWitt and I jumped in his little yellow car, a little old yellow Toyota, and started traveling from Indianapolis to Eau Claire, where my girlfriend was going to school at the time, and he was going on to Minneapolis, where his family was celebrating Thanksgiving. Now, DeWitt was a California guy, and there was a blizzard to end all blizzards. You can look it up. The Thanksgiving blizzard of 1975 in Wisconsin. It was a big one. It was a dandy. And it started all the way in Indiana. We drove out of Indianapolis. The snow was blowing heavily, falling heavily, blowing terribly. Visibility was down to nothing. But I was a young guy, and I was going to go and visit my girlfriend for the weekend and see my parents and all my family, including Big Ed, of course. Nothing was going to stop us. We got a ways out of Indianapolis, and I kept thinking, we're going to drive through this weather. We're going to drive out of it. Never happened. We kept going, though. It probably wasn't much more than 25 or 30 miles per hour the whole way. DeWitt, being from California, said to me, I never drove on snow before. I said, DeWitt, let me drive. He let me drive. I drove the rest of the way. Fought through the snow, got to Rockford, Illinois. We needed to stop at McDonald's for a bathroom break and to grab something to eat. Walked in, and there were two young men working behind the counter, busying themselves, filling cups, doing whatever, anything but waiting on us. We looked around. I looked around. We were the only people in the restaurant. I thought, well, I'm 19 years old. What do I know? They're busy. DeWitt, after a minute or two, said, hey, are you guys going to serve me, or do I call the cops? I forgot to mention along the way, DeWitt was also a person of color, a black man. Here stood a sergeant in the Marine Corps, And because of his color, in the middle of the night during a snowstorm in Rockford, Illinois, wasn't being served because of his color. And I realized I wasn't being served because of his color. That was a defining moment. That woke me up. That made me think, we need to get out more. We need our young people to experience diversity so they don't get caught in a DeWitt Green situation in the middle of a snowstorm in Rockford, Illinois. And then they won't have to be told by their younger brother that they have to get out more.